April 25th, 2026, I'm running my first marathon. And the reason why I decided to sign up for a marathon is because I feel like I'm at a point within my life where I'm kind of at a crossroads. I feel like I've never been clear on what I want to be able to create with my life, but I've also never been more lost on what steps I need to take to be able to get there. And do I think running a marathon is going to help me be able to get crystal clear on where I want to go? No. But the reason why I decided to do the marathon is because every year for the past 3 years, I've done now what I call shift, where I essentially put myself into a situation that makes me feel so uncomfortable that no matter what, I have to shift the character that I'm playing within my own life. And the first time I ever did this, I did it because I was at a really dark place within my life and I really didn't know who I was. And I just felt lost, depressed, and just like had zero motivation to be able to do anything. And the typical route for me just didn't work. I went to go talk to a therapist and they tried to put me on antidepressants, but because I did not want to rely on a pill to feel normal, I decided that I was going to do what I now call shift. And it completely changed my life. And so, to give you context around what it is, shift is a 3-step protocol that I use anytime I know that I need to level up the character or level up the standards that I hold myself to. And the 3 steps are extremely simple, actually. It's creation, coordination, and installation. And so, what I do is I create a version of myself that I want to become. I choose a test that will help me be able to essentially force life to coordinate with that character by going through a test and showing that I am the person who I say that I want to be. And then installation, so using visualization, hypnosis, even that's more recently this year, but like just installing the mindset that I have to be able to maintain the character that I've now created and installing the standards that I now have to hold myself to so that I do not fall back into the character that I went through the test in the first place to be able to get away from. And so the first year I did this, like I said, I was extremely depressed. And the way that I structured it was I just pictured a version of myself that was confident, that had drive, that just honestly was able to trust himself, because that was the biggest thing. I continuously broke promises to myself, and it was just like I couldn't trust my word, I couldn't trust other people. It was just like I felt like I was just alone because nobody within my life I allowed myself to get fully vulnerable with, just because I just didn't trust myself enough or the people around me enough. But that was just my insecurities being projected on the other people. And so what I did was I essentially told myself that for every day for 6 months, I'm going to meditate for at least 30 minutes. And the reason why that was the first version of this was because at the time, that was the scariest thing that I could do. I had to sit there with no music, no nothing, and just listen to the thoughts that I spent my entire life trying to avoid. The thoughts that made me feel insignificant, the thoughts that made me just feel like I wasn't enough. And I had to deal with them. It was like I couldn't just keep suppressing them. I had to sit there with them. I had to deal with them. And I had to move forward from them. And that was the first time I ever did shift. And it really did shift my entire life from doing that. I changed the character that I was playing. And the reason why I say character all the time is because I truly got this idea from my obsession with movies. I always would look at superheroes and just like main characters within TV shows and different things like that. And I would be like, how do creators come up with these type of characters? What do they do? What makes them stand out? What makes people fall in love with these people? And what I realized is, like, if you want to be a main character, you have to go through tests. Like, that's the job of the main character, to be able to face adversity and come out on the other side. And so when I do shift, it's essentially shifting myself into the main character of the movie that I choose to create, instead of the movie that other people tell me I should be in, pretty much. And so again, this year, I feel like I'm kind of at that point again where I want to be able to level up who I am in the character and just like the standards that I'm holding myself to. And so I signed up for the marathon recently I've not been running too much, but um, Sunday was my first long run, and it was pretty good. My goal is to get this thing done in under 4 hours, and so I ran 9 miles on Sunday with like a 9:58 pace or something like that. So I got to work on getting my legs stronger and being able to keep it down. Honestly, the run wasn't too bad mentally, especially, but throughout this channel, what I want to do is at least have a place where I can be a little bit more vulnerable, where I can talk about my mindset going through training for the marathon and just preparing myself, because the standards that I'm holding myself to be able to achieve my desired outcome is going to push me further than what I'm currently accustomed to. Like, I'm going to continuously go to the gym and keep my protocol up and going. I'm not going to fall off. I'm keeping my physique. So I'll be working out 5 days a week. I'll also be running 5 days a week, doing abs on my 2 days off, and just like light cardio. Upping my diet. So I'm going to increase my calories. On long run days, I'll probably jump my calories up to around like 3,400. On my normal days, I'll drop down to 3,000. And so I'm going to get extremely locked in with my sleep schedule, with my recovery, hitting the sauna every night, different things like that. And so it's going to be more added to my plate on top of work and different things like that. And so the entire point of Shift is to get you into a point where you have to raise your standards so high that you will not fall back into your old character. And I'm excited. I'm also kind of scared for the marathon. Not because I don't think I can do it, but just because I've never liked running long distances. And what's funny is I've actually ran a marathon one time in the past, but I did it probably the dumbest way possible. I just woke up one day and decided I was going to do it. I had no training. I ran maybe a mile a week at that time, and I finished it within like 5 hours and 30 minutes. So you can damn near say I walked the thing. And why I want to continue to pursue the marathon is because everything I've talked about is a process leading up onto the marathon. Like, do I really care about hitting under 4 hours? No, I just know I'm going to do it in my head, because what I care about more is building the standards and just like keeping my word to myself on the things that I say I'm going to do to be able to get me to that goal. And that's the thing that I obsess about. It's the process, the journey, the hero's journey you go through to become the person that you want to be, because it's in the journey that you develop into the character. It's not just the achievement of the goal. And so I don't know. I'm excited. I'm happy. I want to be able to start doing more raw talks like this on my YouTube, just because I feel like recently I've been trying to be not someone I'm not, but like what I expect other people to see me as if I want to be able to help make the impact that I want to make, which is not necessarily all about fitness, but being able to help people remove the limiting beliefs that have kept them stuck. And you do that by shifting the character that you're playing with in your life. And when I say character, I mean your identity, because your identity dictates your paradigm. Your paradigm dictates the way you see the world. The way you see the world dictates your thoughts and feelings. Your thoughts and feelings dictate your actions. So if we can change the character, we can change your life, because actions essentially are the thing that create the reality that you want, but they all stem from your identity. And you can do the right actions, but from the wrong identity, and it won't work because you're operating at a frequency that is out of alignment with what your identity says is normal, and you'll pull yourself back. And so my thing is, I've spent so much time learning about the brain and just like really trying to put a logical grip around something that I feel like is very non-logical. I'm an extremely logical thinker. And so the way that I think about these things and like manifestation and stuff like that, it's not how most people do. And I've realized whenever I explain it the way that I've had to logically break it down in my head to other people, they see benefits. And so I want this channel to be a place where I can publicly have a record of the things that I'm learning, the things that I'm helping other people with, the things that I'm currently going through, not only so that I can have a place to be able to go back and like rewatch these and relearn some of the lessons that I've learned in the past, just in case I maybe have forgotten them at a certain point in my life, but also in hopes that these videos can help other people. And so appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I look forward to keeping you updated on this marathon. All right, peace.